Crazy story time about how I found my aunt and my boyfriend hooking up at a family function. So every year my mom and stepdad would have a Christmas party and everyone from both sides of the family would come. And I also invited my boyfriend. And at this time my boyfriend and I were both juniors in high school. So everybody came to the party and everything was going good. Well, like an hour into the party, all the adults were super drunk. So before we all opened gifts, I decided to help my mom clean up dinner. So while I'm washing the dishes, I look over and my aunt and boyfriend are talking a lot. And she started to get really touchy with him, but I didn't think anything of it because she was super drunk. So after I'm done cleaning up, we all start opening gifts. And my boyfriend goes up to my room to go get his phone off the charger. And after he went upstairs, my aunt was like, "Oh, I need to go throw up." So about 10 minutes goes past and my boyfriend's still up in the room grabbing his phone, so I went to check on him. And I walk upstairs to see my aunt and my boyfriend laying on my bed making out. Like for part 2. Part 2 to how I caught my aunt and my boyfriend hooking up at a family function. So like I said, they are laying on my bed making out. Doors wide open, they don't even bother to shut the door. And both of their shirts are off. And I think I should just put in here, my aunt is like 28. She's on my stepdad's side. She's really young. So they look up and my aunt's just like drunk as fuck looking at me. And she's like, "Do you want to join?" Like, bitch, what the fuck? So I'm just like shook. And I start screaming. Everybody rushes up the stairs. And my mom pushes me out of the way and sees my boyfriend and my aunt laying on my bed with their shirts off. So my mom starts screaming at everybody. So my mom calls the cops, says that an adult is touching an underage boy, and she calls his mom, tells her what happened. So my boyfriend and I broke up, so that spread around the whole school, and word got out that they actually started seeing each other. Crazy story time about how my sister and I found out that we were hooking up with the same guy. So I was a freshman, my sister was a sophomore, and there was this really cute guy in her grade that I liked. But I could never find a way to talk to him because we weren't in the same grade and had none of the same classes. And my sister and I were not close at all. Like, we didn't tell each other shit. We didn't really talk to each other or anything. So by that being said, we never told each other about the boys that we liked. We just didn't have that bond. Well, track season came around. So they called all the people down who wanted to do track. And I saw him walk past my classroom window, so I decided to go too. So I signed up for track and him and I started to talk a little bit. We exchanged numbers and he was popular, I wasn't, so he didn't want to be seen with me. So after attendance, we would go to this graveyard right by the track and hook up. Well, the next day we had a meet in our school. So him and I went to the graveyard, hooked up, and that's when it started getting crazy like for part 2. Part 2. So on our way back from doing our thing, we had saw a group of kids that were behind this bush and they were chiefing. And we didn't think that they saw us because we were like, oh, they're just smoking, like whatever. So I go back to the meet, everything is good until the end of the meet. One of my best friends sends me this picture that I guess somebody posted on their story. And it was a picture of me and the kid hooking up. And next thing I know, my sister is blowing up my phone. And like I said, my sister and I didn't have a good bond, so I didn't give a shit what she had to say because I didn't know. So then I got home. And as soon as I walked into my room, my sister was literally waiting there for me. And she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, him and I are in a relationship." And I'm like, "Bitch, what the fuck?" And she was like, "Well, it's on the down low, but we're in a relationship. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a whore." So then she decides to drive both of us over to his house. So we all decided to just stay away from each other. But then they got back together. So I just figured that wasn't fair and I'm still hooking up with him while they're together. Crazy ass story time about how my best friend's parents walked in on me sleeping with my best friend's brothers. And yes, I said brothers. So my freshman year, I became best friends with this girl. And she had 2 older, hot-ass brothers. One was in college, and one was a senior. Well, it was Christmas break, and her older brother from college was home. And my parents let me go with them to Florida for Christmas break. They had a super nice beach house, and I was sharing a room with my best friend. And the boys were sharing a room. And our room was connected because there was a bathroom in the middle. Well, my best friend got super sick the first 3 days of the trip, so she didn't do anything with us. So I was hanging out with the boys all the time. Well, the one night we were on the deck and we started to play Truth or Dare. And one of them asked, "Would you sleep with us?" And I said, yeah. So at around 3 a.m., I snuck into the room and things started to get real nasty. There are kids on this app, so just use your imagination. And things started to get really loud and we woke their parents up, like for part 2. Part 2. So we thought that we woke their parents up. and we heard someone walking up the stairs. So I ran into the bathroom, hid, and they asked if everything was okay, and I was just like, oh, I'm not feeling good. I think I caught whatever my best friend has. So they went back downstairs, and we thought they went back to sleep. They were never asleep. So we decided to go onto the deck and finish the nastiness that we were doing. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, like, we don't have to be that quiet now. Because their bedroom was in the front of the house, and the porch was on the back of the house. And we were on the second floor, and below that there was another porch with like a fire pit and everything. And I could see below us. Well, out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw somebody walk into the house. But stupid me, I just ignored it. Not even a minute later, I hear the sliding door open, and I hear, and we all turn around and everybody's standing there. So they sent me home and told my parents, but I didn't get grounded because low-key my mom knew I was a hoe. How to tell if he is a fuckboy. Tip number 1, and this is from personal experience. Don't get offended by these, it's happened to the best of us. Tip number 1, if he has like 20 different girlfriends before you, and he says every single one of them has cheated on me and broke my heart, the chances are he's cheated on every single one of them. That happened to be the excuse with me, and then I got cheated on. Tip number 2, if he is always talking about your body, if he's always saying, oh, your body looks so nice, chances are that's the only thing he's interested in. Tip number 3, if he only texts you late at night, chances are he's looking for a booty call, or he wants pics, and he does this often. Yeah, he's probably just looking for some entertainment for that night. Send this to someone who needs to hear it, because bitch, these are red flags.
This is Put a Finger Down Girly Girl Edition. Put a finger down if you love wearing heels. Put a finger down if you have a countless amount of dresses or skirts. Put a finger down if when you were in elementary school you would always shop at Justice or Claire's. Put a finger down if you have your ears pierced. Put a finger down if you text in all lower cases. Put a finger down if you think doing your eyebrows is really important in your makeup routine. Put a finger down if you always have your toes done, either white or red. Put a finger down if you have a vanity in your room. Put a finger down if you shop at Forever 21 or H&M. Put a finger down if you get the refreshers at Starbucks. Put a finger down if you prefer sweet foods rather than salty foods. Lastly, put a finger down if all your shirts are crop tops.
Hi guys, so today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite products. So a while ago while I was plucking my eyebrows, I got very carried away with this brow, and half of it was like gone. And I was able to grow my eyebrows out to this in 2 months. No, this is not sponsored. So these are what my eyebrows look like right after I plucked it. As you can see, that one right there is way smaller than that one. And then I found this product. It's called Revita Brow. It literally saved my life, and I'm going to show you the evolution of my brows. So this was after the first 2 weeks, and as you can see, I have a lot of roots coming in. This was after a month, and as you can see, those roots started to grow out, but I still had a lot of hairs coming in, and my brows started to get a little fuller. So these were my eyebrows after 5 weeks. As you can see, they got so much fuller and the hair was growing in like crazy. And this was after a month and a half of using it every night and not touching my eyebrows. These are my eyebrows today. I definitely recommend this product if you're looking for something fast and easy. Okay guys, so I decided I was going to do a little Q&A about myself because a lot of you don't know and get the wrong impression from my story times. Okay, so yes, I did graduate from high school. I have my diploma. Everything was good. They kind of just stopped caring and were like, okay, here's your diploma. You're good. And I am 18, about to turn 19 in November. I live in my own apartment. I do not live with my parents anymore. I think a lot of you get confused and ask like, oh, like I thought your parents were strict. Yeah, it's because I don't live with them anymore. I'm 18. I moved out. When did I start doing TikTok? Last summer. How long have I been doing makeup for? Probably like 4 or 5 months. So a lot of story times in the past are mine, and most of the ones that I do now are not mine. Just check the caption. And yeah, just thought I would let you guys know a little bit about myself.
fly again. Closing in on murder lane. Shoot, I'ma try again. Say my girl,